Service calls are beautiful, and they're beautiful to market for as well. All right. One thing you can do, and I'll take a page out of the restoration industry, we have QR codes you can create. Takes 10 seconds. It's easy.
Sure.
You download it and you put it on the stickiest sticker with the most glue you've ever seen.
And you put it all over their house.
And you put it in the basement. And,
Yep.
and you put your phone number on it, you put your brand on it, and you put a QR code on it, and it says, scan and take a video of any work you need us to do for service. What you have effectively done is claim that property. We do not want people Googling, service, water service near me. They want to go in and open that crawl space door, and there's your advertising for any future and current resident. Oh, I guess this is my crawl space guy. Yes, I am.
It's time for another episode of Rainmaker for Contractors. Interviews and success stories with $1 million plus basement waterproofing and foundation repair owners. Discover how they market and grow their companies in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your industry. With your host and Rainmaker for Contractors owner, Bill Crawford.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rainmaker for Contractors podcast. Today, we have James Hatfield from LiveSwitch. Really excited about what James is going to be talking about. It's a new service, and I think you're really going to like it. James, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Bill. Thank you for having me. I'm doing fine. Looking forward to the discussion.
That's awesome. Hey, I just want to tell our audience, someone referred me to James and LiveSwitch, and the two applications that I see on the surface that I think you're really going to like are, one is for service calls. We all get these kind of service calls, and we'd rather kind of diagnose it over the phone as best we can, preferably not your top tech that's going to sit on the phone and go back and forth. So I'll let James get into the details, but when you could text a link to the person and then have a live feed and then tell the person why they're in the basement, go to the left, go to the right, and so on. I think that's a really great way to reduce service calls, to expedite the service. And sometimes you could probably fix these things over the phone, depending on what it is, of course. The second one is in relation to lead generation and top of the funnel. James has this, I love this phrase that you gave me at the beginning of our conversation, James, race to the face. So imagine if you could be the first person in your market that could diagnose, be exposed to the problem, diagnose it, educate the homeowner, and of course, empathize with the homeowner and get that ball rolling. You're going to create a trust and a loyalty to them, and then you're positioned to be better. And that's what James' product is going to do. James, from there, sorry to steal any thunder, but I know your product does a lot of stuff. Can you unpack some of those things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think what is helpful is I used to run and operate painting and power washing companies with multiple crews doing residential commercials. So I've sat in the chair, I've sat in the truck, I've been on the property, I've dealt with all kinds of stuff that I know everyone listening has dealt with, right? And what's interesting is one of the best tools that you have in your toolbox, you carry around in your pocket every single day, right? And that's 4 or 5 cameras now these phones have. It's incredible, right? And the power of what you can do with that. As a quick example, back in the day, I used to have these Nextel walkie-talkies. You remember these things, Bill?
Totally.
I mean, I ran my entire painting company on these things. I would click and I could be everywhere. Guys had issues. It really just was the way that I ran the business. And I want people to think of this as this generation's Nextel walkie-talkie. But instead of just talking with your crew, you can talk to your prospects, your customers, claims, whatever you need. And you've got this beautiful thing of recording video in your pocket. So as a business owner, you can record and document your process, before and afters, customer testimonials, see what your guys are seeing, race to the face like we talked about. You're going to find, and hopefully after this episode, whether or not you use LiveSwitch or not is immaterial for me. I mean, obviously it's where I work, but what I want you to be thinking of as a business owner is how you're going to start weaving recorded and live video into every part of your process and every part of your customer experience. It's literally game changing for you. And awesome. In addition to that, we wrap all of this in AI. I think you might have heard of this. It's kind of popular, right?
So, AI, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it is this thing called AI. Well, the way you could think about this in some way, it's not a perfect example, but imagine FaceTime and ChatGPT got together and had a baby and specifically made it for the trades. That is LiveSwitch. That's LiveSwitch.
Beautiful. All right, so let's, if we could pause on the AI thing, I definitely want to explore that with you, but let's kind of keep it simple. Can you give me the top, and even in this order, for the basement waterproofing niche? There's lead gen, there's service, there's installation. I love that you said video testimonials. It's a beautiful thing to have on your website. What do you think are the top 3 that waterproofer would gain traction by using your service?
1, race to the face. Being able to see the project, be the first one to see it, be the first one to connect in a human way to the prospect, because you're dealing with, in some cases, 5-figure deals. So you need to be thinking about that. Residential people we don't like to spend 5 figures every day. In fact, we usually kick that can down the road,
That's
if
right.
I need a roof, I know I need it, but you want me to spend $10,000, $24,000? Wow. This is a gut punch in some ways, right? In the basement, nonetheless, where no guests, none of my.
That's right.
Nobody goes. So you want me to hide my $10,000 to $24,000 in the basement? So we're already kind of fighting on our back foot. But to overcome that, expertise, right? They see you or your salesperson or whomever is your first line of defense. When the quote comes in or the call comes in, they're not calling to ask you what you had for breakfast, right? They've got your information somehow, whether through marketing, word of mouth, or frankly, they're just having an issue at the home, and they want that expert to see what they're seeing. Like, am I crazy here? They're not going to be basement experts, as you guys know. No, but rarely, I'm sure, do you come across a prospect who's a basement expert, right? Or waterproofing or crawl space. Let me not just pick on basements, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But to see and connect with an expert really fast, and even be able to go and record a quick video if needed. Here's what's going on. Here's what I'm seeing. You're building this beautiful thing that they're buying. Trust.
James, let me try to simplify it as best we can. So the example you're bringing up is lead gen, and I so appreciate it because, it is 10 to 24,000 somewhere in there. So whether it's a phone call or a web form or local service ad or however they come in, Google ads, when you get them on the phone and you're asking those questions, like, what are you noticing? Is that on the walls before? When do you kind of pull in that, hey, you know what? Could I text you a link right now and you could show me what you have going on?
The faster you can do it, the better. The faster you can do it, the better. It's race to the face. The face starts to build trust of the highest degree, which is why we all go on site all the time, right? And I'm not eliminating going on site. So don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to eliminate is, 1, the tire kickers. So when you see the issue, maybe that's not your field. Like, you actually need a restoration company for that.
True.
One, right?
So it's over the top, or it's your hot water tank or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a fit, right? The worst is to drive out somewhere and find out it's not a fit, because that free estimate is not a free estimate for us, the business owners, and that time is money. So what first thing you're doing is, we can call them tire kickers. We can also just call it like, hey, false positives, right? Get rid of that. That alone, you're getting your time back and your money back. Second, small jobs that you can bid in your sleep. You can bid remotely, and really you just need to send the technician out. Like, that's actually not too big of a deal. I've seen this before. It's going to be about this much. Let's just pick a time on the date, and you'll close deals virtually. That's going to feel real nice, by the way. Most of my customers are like, oh my gosh, I love that. And then the middle lane. The middle lane is the money lane. The money lane of, like, they're qualified. They're worth the trip. You're worth the trip. I'm going to get in the truck. You are worth it. And now I'm on my way.
Yeah. From my perspective, just, I mean, everything you said is 100% valid. And this is probably my lead generation bias, I still think the greatest advantage of your product in our space is that connection to the homeowner and creating that, like, oh, well, those people. And I also think there's an advantage to be the leaders in your space for technology. I think people are impressed when you are able to send them a text or able to email them, and they're like, oh, wow, this sales rep is coming to my house. Oh, he's a football fan of Notre Dame and he likes dogs. And those kind of things, those contractors have an advantage because they're able to do those connections. So that, I think that's mine.
We've had several listeners express interest in being guests on our podcast, and we think that's fantastic. If your company generates over $1 million in revenue and you believe you have valuable insights to share, we'd love to hear from you. Additionally, if you are a supplier to the industry and want to explore partnership opportunities with Rainmaker, we are open to discussing collaborations. Finally, if you're a basement waterproofing or foundation repair contractor looking to boost your online marketing efforts and generate more leads, reach out to us. We're here to help you grow.
No, you're right. You're being judged all the way. I was on the phone 2 days ago with a flooring company owner. He's the son of the first generation. They've been around 30 years. They're kicking butt in their area. And there's a little thing they do that you would think you'd almost laugh at it. But when I saw it, I'm like, that is why. When they go on property, you won't believe this. They literally get a piece of paper out. And when they're doing their measurements, they're drawing with pencil paper. And the homeowner is watching them do this.
Yeah.
And it's actually building a ton of credibility. And that's the non-technical. It's not always about technology. Yes, I'm a tech nerd, but it's not always a technology. It's what Bill's talking about is that the customer sees that you're the expert, you're taking time on their property, you're being able to connect with them first in the face, and then they're going to see you in the flesh, and then they're going to see how you're mapping out your work. We sell customer experience and trust. That when we just happen to take care of your water issues.
Yeah, I like it. I've always been kind of a big fan of the old school. I mean, I've taught a lot of reps over the years, and get that paper out with 3 different color Sharpies, black's foundation, blue's water, red's the cracks, and draw it out. And they're like, yeah, I mean, they feel known. They feel, I always say it's how Bill Clinton became president. He said, you know, I feel your pain. And when we get into that space, it builds trust.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, so there's clearly, if you get the person on the phone, you could text that link and you could really get into their world, and that would really set you apart. Everyone's doing, you know, free estimates. We'll schedule EO out. I guess another thing before we jump over to the service advantage is in the waterproofing, it's like an accordion business. It's either, you know, dry and slow, and you're like, oh, I need more leads, or there's too many leads, and you can't get to them fast enough. But if you can kind of videotape that, at least you have a hold on that customer, because like, oh yeah, we've already explained it. You might be scheduling 2 to 3 weeks out if it got busy, but you have that certain space for them. I bet you I could think of several different, you know, applications. I mean, you could probably send text to people and say, you know, text me back and we'll do a live walkthrough of your basement. I mean, you could.
It's great for after hours too, right? So if someone calls you from the office and they're saying they have issues, and they're like, oh, can I send you a text? Like, well, I'm at the office, my home. I work a lot. A workaholic, right? Like they're working from 8 to 7, and I bet your estimators don't like going to do bids after 7 or 8 o'clock. So how do you help the folks that really demand convenience because they're in a high demand job? And the good news is those high demand people have the thing we need, money. Right? So we need to be able to serve them. So now what you can do is say, hey, look, what I'm going to do, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, is send you a text. When you get back home tonight, I want you to tap on it and just go and take a video of what you're seeing and any issues. I'm going to review that first thing in the morning and call you at the office, take a look at it. Again, I can determine too, it's worth the time, worth the trip out. Because the last thing that office-based person wants to do is take an hour away to drive back home to meet you and greet you. In some cases, they might even let you get into the house when they see you, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe, but
most
probably not often.
Don't even want to send their reference.
Probably not often.
Yeah.
But you know, you're trying to up the convenience factor, right? At least validate, hey, this person's got a great job. They took a video the other night. I'm more convenient than the rest of the people. They're probably going to be more likely to take that lunch break with me because I valued their time.
For sure. Gosh, you know what else you could do is based on what you see in that video, you could also send them resources to educate them on like what the real problem is. And that's going to, again, feel like, oh, this is great service. It's not like a cookie cutter thing that they do this one thing for everything.
That's it. Okay. And you can start, the more you put your face in front of everything, it's that much more powerful.
That's right.
Let me give you an example. Same example, person in the office, you send a text the next day, They take a video. That next morning, you watch the video. You can actually quickly take a video of yourself, a self-recording.
Nice.
And say, hey, Mr. Prospect, I'm James. I am the owner here, or I'm the salesperson or whatever. I've looked at your video. Thank you for doing that in your after hours. Here's what we need to do. I need to come over. Let's schedule a time. And you can text that video to them. It's just, I find this all over in every industry.
Awesome.
That's right. People want this type of experience, and you're probably seeing it year over year. You're getting more people that want to actually see you less. They just want to text you back and forth.
That's true. The younger generation, like, they unless the company text or chat, they're not calling someone. It's like, it's not the 1980s anymore.
That's right. And if you're so like, well, we've always done it this way, then you keep doing it that way. You know, it's okay. Like,
that's right.
Go for it. But the other
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the video of the sales rep going like, hey, I saw your video. Thank you so much for sharing that. Here's what I think the issue is. I will need to look at it, blah, blah, blah. Let's set up a time and date. I mean, you could, and then I'm going to text you my calendar. You can set a time and date that's convenient for you and your wife or husband, whatever. That's a beautiful thing. Hey, let's jump over to service.
Yep.
What's a good scenario? You know, every home improvement company has service. Certainly in basement waterproofing, we're fighting the forces of nature. Houses settle. Things happen on the outside, on the inside. Customer calls 3 years later. Hey, you gave me that warranty. I'm having some issues. Now what?
Yep. All right. We're going to do this thing called claiming property. Recurring revenue is a beautiful thing. Service calls are beautiful, and they're beautiful to market for as well. All right. One thing you can do, and I'll take a page out of the restoration industry, we have QR codes you can create. It takes 10 seconds. It's easy.
Sure.
You download it and you put it on the stickiest sticker with the most glue you've ever seen.
And you put it all over their house.
And you put it in the basement. And,
Yep.
and you put your phone number on it, you put your brand on it, and you put a QR code on it. And it says, scan and take a video of any work you need us to do for service. What you have effectively done is claim that property. We do not want people Googling, service, water service near me. They want to go in and open that crawl space door, and there's your advertising for any future and current resident. Oh, I guess this is my crawl space guy. Yes, I am. And so now they can scan the QR code, put in their lead information. Here's my name, here's my address, here's my phone number, and then they click the record button, and it just says, hey, here's what I'm seeing, here's what I'm noticing. You get not only the inbound information, you're getting a video that you can watch, and now when you call back, you're 10 steps down the chessboard compared to anybody else that they might have to call and wait. See, you're beating them on speed. And then you could also, in certain neighborhoods that you like servicing, put out a marketing campaign and say, hey, put this in your crawl space. We've serviced other folks in your neighborhood, making sure any water issues, go ahead and put this sticker on your crawl space door.
I like it. I like it. Whenever I need a garage door repair person come over, they have these like bright stickers. I'm like, dude, don't be putting your stickers all over my house. They will though, no problem.
Oh, they will.
No, I love that. I love that. And for basement waterproofing, I could also see on that sticker, like a lot of our clients are doing multiple services, whether it's egress windows or indoor air quality or lawn, retention walls, lawn drainage, all sorts of stuff, and kind of list all these things. And a lot of people want that. They want to deal with a contractor that they trust. Like, okay, we had these people out here. They're a great company. They're super organized, really good communication. Let's go back to them. Let's at least get a price. So, it's a free lead. They're not clicking your ad on Google Ads.
That's right. That's right. I mean, the best branding companies are wrapping the trucks, right, with beautiful branding that's memorable. And now in a basement situation where you might not hang up a QR code with someone's, maybe a larger one in any other room, but in a basement, people don't tend to take anybody down there. So you have a little bit more free reign in this industry to really claim that space with something big and bold and beautiful, for people to remember seeing your brand. Because
all right.
Hey, anyway,
I have a new one. I'm sure one of your clients is already doing this. Yard sign. They're walking their dog. Upload a video of your basement. Let us help you out. Or like we also encourage this when a crew shows up at the job. We encourage the crews to do a door knocker 5 houses to the left and the right, 10 across the street. And on that door knocker, you can have a QR code saying upload your video. We'll help you over the phone, which is way safer than calling a company and saying like, hey, come on out and pitch me for 2 hours and try to close me. Like, I don't want to do that, but I'll work through my phone. So I like that. Anyone
Exactly.
using QR codes on yard signs?
Yeah, QR codes on lawn signs, QR codes on door hangers, QR codes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? And the airlines have, made everyone very aware of QR codes. You have to get on the airplane with a QR code. So it's no longer, it's very commonplace, even for any
when
generation.
QR codes first came out, it was like, that didn't work, but they reloaded and now it works.
It works great, right? And it's convenient. And yeah, this yard sign's a beautiful place to put it.
So I want to get into AI, but first I just want to emphasize, having owned a waterproofing company for 15 years and, certainly experiencing our fair share of service calls. Diagnosing over the phone, I think, could be just super valuable. It's just going to speed everything up. And anyone who's run a service department in this industry, we get these heavy rains, and someone might have like a little dampness in the corner, and they'll be like, "We're getting 4 inches of water in our basement, and you need to come out right now." And like, taking several calls, and it's just challenging. It's like, cool, let's see a video of that, and then I can prioritize it for you. Now, not only that, but also just diagnosing it. It's super helpful. And then you're able to bring in, sometimes you need that most experienced person to take a look at that. And it's really helpful to be able to pick their brain without sending them for an hour drive to look at something he's setting up that time. They can do a quick look and, hey, consider this, this, this. Now you can send your junior technician out, and actually it's a great training tool as well.
That's it. And now when the junior technician gets on property, if they have questions, you're allowed, your project managers or senior technicians can be just like the Nextel walkie-talkie, can communicate with that junior technician, because this is not just a sales tool and a marketing tool, it's an operational tool. And when your staff gets on property, you can have an internal QR code that anybody can scan. And if you have to use subcontractors, and now you can do your dailies, your weeklies, and none of these videos are stored directly on your device. That is a liability. So if you find yourself scrolling through photos and videos on your phone, that is not a good thing. And the other piece to know is, if you ever go to exit and sell your company, that if you've documented everything, you're effectively bringing YouTube into your business. And now you can document process. You can have this entire YouTube library for your business for new hires. You can tag the videos for training. You can access them even a year later or 2 years later, because I can't remember what that property looked like. And when you go to sell, now you're showing how much documentation you have, and your multiple just went from 2.5 to much higher.
All right, before we get into AI, you're begging the question. All right, I send a text to, leaky basement customer. They videotape it. So it's not on my phone. It's in your software. How does your software connect with CRMs?
We're connected into many CRMs, not all of them yet. We do have APIs. That's a nerdy talk to allow them bolt under the hood, but we're under the hood of Service Titan, Jobber, Job Nimbus, Albiware, HubSpot, many others.
Go high level? Go high level?
We do have Go High Level. The thing with Go High Level is it's very custom. Go High Level allows people to really manipulate it like no other CRM I've seen. Salesforce is kind of close to it, but Go High Level, we do have it, but it takes some extra effort and time from our team to make that integration, because usually everybody's Go High Level is a little different. But yes, we are connected to it.
Beautiful, beautiful thing. So then that would get stored right on, Mary, leaky basement customer, and it goes right into her contact record. And then the burden of storage, does that go on to the CRM system, or does that stay with you?
It stays with us, because we have folks that change different CRM systems. Sometimes I've got sole proprietors and small that are running it off a Google Sheet, and now they're ready for Go High Level or fill in the blank. You can take all of your photos and all your videos with you everywhere you go. Beautiful
thing. All right. How are you using AI with your software?
Yeah, this last year, so prior to this company, my business partner and I, we created a company from nothing. We went Inc. 500 for 3 years. It's a multi-billion-dollar company in financial tech space. All the banks in the country use our stuff. After that liquidity event, we used all of the cash and capital there we went into philanthropy first, starting inmates to entrepreneurs, going into jails, teaching men and women how to run businesses. It turned into like an ABC television show called Free Enterprise, which is really great. But then we decided, hey, let's purchase a company. We purchased this company 5 years ago. It's a 16-year-old company. And so from that, we were able to develop everything that we're looking at now. And I knew we were on track. I mean, we're growing like a weed right now. We're one of America's fastest growing software companies in the country right now. I'm literally hiring like 20 sales guys every month. It's bonkers. But what we have found is that we've been able to take this size and scale and apply it to any industry. And we have been pretty excited about what we're seeing with AI. So I knew, man, we were on track to be a pretty big company. But then when the AI came, I was like, oh, I think we're probably going to make another $1 billion company. And the reason is my wife was tooling around our home and she found one of our HVAC units was not working. The water pan was full of water. There was water all over our basement floor. And she called over the tech, and the tech was coming down into the home. And I said, hey, hold on a second. I run a huge tech company. Let me send you a text message. When you go in there, I want you to act like an ignorant customer and just take a video, 20 seconds, and just tell it what you see, but don't diagnose it. So he walks in. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. So he had a thick mountain accent, the technician. He's 20-something years old. He walks in and he goes, well, there's water in the water pan. It's dripping and there's no cap right here. And then we created an AI prompt, simply said, diagnose the HVAC, the HVAC system, and tell us how to fix it. We ran the prompt. It's just one click. And it reviews everything you say and everything it sees. And it came back and said, hey, the most likely cause of this particular issue is you have algae and dust in your drain line. Here are the 6 steps to release that. So he followed it, released the drain line, algae's going everywhere. His jaw is on the floor and he's looking at me and he goes, can I buy stock in your company? Because he was so blown away. And it happened at a mold and restoration company at my own personal home. Same thing, 40-second video. And this AI, it's not like, oh, that's cute. This is some of the largest AI in the world. And you can ask it to do whatever you want it to do. Do you want it to write your CRM entry for you? Do you want to translate this to any language? Do you want it to document the process? Do you want it to diagnose the issue? Do you want it to, you can feed it quotes and bids and your hourly rates and your book of business. Give me an entire quote for this. This AI can do anything from a recorded video or a live video.
It kind of, all right, here's where my mind goes. My daughter is in law school. She lives alone, 2-bedroom condo thing. Her furnace has stopped working middle of winter, University of Illinois. She diagnosed it and fixed it with ChatGPT. And it was crazy. She just talked to it and she loves to take things apart and whatever. And I'm wondering, can any, how is that different than any kind of ChatGPT, your AI stuff?
The live portion, right? We have all of the other things as well, but it's also developed and really curated for the home services, for the home service owner and sales and project management team. So with something like ChatGPT, you can feed it photos, you can feed it different things, and you can have it do that diagnosis. But repetitive times you want to do it and you want to deploy it across your entire team is not scalable, right? It's good for your tech nerds and people who are adept to it, but we've got it to the place now where you're going to have people on your team that are not technically savvy at all. And you're going to want to have consistency also. So now when you create your diagnose whatever or CRM entry, or now it's literally click one button to record or do a live video. ChatGPT does not have live. In fact, this is why we're going under the hood of everything. That live video component doesn't exist anywhere, right? So you're going live or recorded. And now after that recorded video, anybody on your team can just click one button and it runs it. And they don't have to think about it because you're going to have the full spectrum of folks on that. So I would say there's a lot of big differences there with ChatGPT, and it's great if you're already using it. I love it. Pick Gemini. I always tell people Gemini, ChatGPT, Grok, Claude. Pick your favorite and learn it. But this is just, like I said, we took the best of the best AI and married it with FaceTime.
Sure.
And then add the QR code.
There's some sales tools like Xero and so on that will record an in-home sales presentation, and then it kind of keeps it'll break down the whole presentation, it'll grade it, give you feedback. And then what the sales reps can do is they could be like, oh, I need to improve my inspection. So they'll click let's see the top 3 inspections, and then they can learn themselves on those inspections. Or closing, how do I overcome, I need to, get 3 estimates.
Yeah, and you can do a call, these live calls that we're talking about. One of the prompts you can run, analyze me as a salesperson.
Love it. Really
Absolutely.
cool. And no, you know, we know how much AI is changing. It's just going to expand, and become crazier. Hey, how does pricing work?
We do pricing by number of seats. So you buy licenses for the users. You do not need to buy this for everyone in your company, nor should you. It's already death by subscription out there with all the different technologies. And, you
Well
know,
said.
we've really, I fight against your gas tank. When you're filling up your trucks, think about me. Like if I can save a few trips out, that alone pays for this. I mean, our current minimum package is 2 users, $190 a month for unlimited use, unlimited AI, every feature, 24/7 coverage. And, you know, that might be all you need for your business. And you can always add more later, take them away. We don't lock you in. In fact, we even have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So we stand by our stuff. If you're not happy, we'll just give you all your money back.
Yep. What's your development department looking like? I know you're hiring a lot of sales reps, but no doubt the back end needs a lot of help.
Yeah, so we purchased this company 5 years ago. It's a 16-year-old company. They were all computer scientists. You know, we did the Super Bowl. We're getting ready to do Super Bowl this weekend. The last 3 years we did Super Bowl. If you go to MLB ballpark and scan a QR code and they put you on the Jumbotron, we powered that. We power huge companies. Like during the COVID, we powered the NBA bubble. We powered WWE wrestling, bringing all the fans in the stands. We did all that. This was actually born because the chief of police in Washington, D.C. knocked on our door to reinvent the 911 phone call. And we wanted to find a way to get into those cameras with no app to download, use see what I see technology. And when we built that, we're like, well, who else could use it? Oh yeah, this reminds me of the Nextel walkie-talkie. And that was 4 years ago. And so now we've been growing like a weed. But I've got a ton of computer scientists. We still have big companies approach us and we take care of them. But with our tech team, it's a 16-year-old company. So we've got lots and lots of folks
Pretty solid
behind us.
Got it.
We're not going anywhere.
You're not. Yep. All right. And what does onboarding look like? What kind of training do you offer in the beginning?
Yep, all trains included. First, we can train people to use this stuff in about 10, 15 minutes. If you know how to send a text message, you can use our stuff. This is not another CRM. This is literally like put the phone number in. If you already have the phone number, hit the button, connect, and go. Right? So we teach that first and the recording stuff. Then we squeeze more value out of it. We're coming and doing the QR codes with folks. We're showing them how to do on-site documentation. You can connect our stuff to your Google business profile to get video reviews and testimonials from your customers. Ooh. And then the run part is AI piece and teaching all the AI. And we assign one of our customer success people to your account, and they will tell you how other folks in your industry are using this and outside of your industry that you might want to think about, because we are trying to help you squeeze every, top line and bottom line savings or growth. Yep.
All right. Let's say I use an antiquated CRM system. I won't mention any, but I have that opinion in our space. And you don't work with them. They're smaller or whatever. And let's say we have a client and they don't want to move off of that system. What does that waterproofer do with all the videos if they can't connect it to their CRM system?
Yeah, we did a smart little thing. They probably use Google Chrome, right? And so we put a launcher. It's a little extension where I can literally turn anything. Like it can look at your email. It can look at your ancient CRM. It can look at Google spreadsheet. And what it will do is automatically put a little LiveSwitch L next to the phone number. And you can just tap it whenever it sees a phone number. You could be on someone else's website. Tap it and start a live call, request call. Do the interactivity. And then it goes into your LiveSwitch account. And what people will do literally is copy and paste. They'll copy and paste the link into their ancient CRM. Because I have sole proprietors running their business on Google spreadsheets or Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
So we had to come up with some creative ways to make it one click. We're always looking for one click solutions.
Sure. I love it. So if I could repeat what I think I heard you say is basically people will track that video and store that video like on Google Chrome somehow with their phone number, with the client's phone number, and there will be a LS by that number. And then
you'll see a little LS by it. You tap it, you start your live call, recorded call, and that recording and that video goes into your LiveSwitch account. Okay. So you'll log into a LiveSwitch account. You have unlimited storage in LiveSwitch, your videos, your photos. And so you'll be interacting in our LiveSwitch tool, which you can use on your phone, your tablet, your PC or Mac. There's no app, so we don't care what device you use or your customer uses, and you can access LiveSwitch from anywhere.
Very cool. Nice job. Okay, what did I not ask you that I should have?
Let me think. How about educational stuff? Because I've been the business owner, I've actually been coaching and teaching across the country, and I help folks determine the tech stacks, but I also get you thinking about how to work on your business rather than in your business. And everyone's heard this, and it sounds like, fairy tale.
Oh, that's the real deal, man. That's where it's at.
But if you ever want to make yourself redundant, maybe take a vacation, maybe sell your company, maybe not, you want to check out a book called Making Money is Killing Your Business. Making Money is Killing Your Business. It'll teach you how to do freedom mapping, document your process, and learn how to work on your business rather than in your business. And I've always found that a lot of times people that work in their business have too much key man problems, too much like, if I don't do it, no one else will. And I get that. I totally understand. But don't let that be your excuse to make yourself in your own jail cell or, in your own cage. I would highly recommend that book for anybody listening to this.
For sure.
And the final thing is, you don't need to say this. I'm going to say it on your behalf, is that I believe in not being a dead end. And I don't want anyone on this listening to this to be a dead end. I don't think Bill does this to make millions and millions of dollars. In fact, I think he does it because he cares about the industry he serves and he's just giving back. So I think you don't even need to share this episode. I don't care about that. Just share what Bill is doing, whether you're on LinkedIn, with a friend, with a colleague, anywhere, but don't be a dead end listener. Please relay race and share what Bill is putting in front of you today, because I know he's doing it because he cares about the industry.
Appreciate it, James. Hey, thanks so much for being on the show. Everyone, check out this product. It looks really, really cool, and jump on that technology thing. You can't just keep doing the same thing you've done over and over and over again. So appreciate it, James.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Rainmaker for Contractors podcast, where basement waterproofing and foundation repair business owners and industry experts share marketing and sales information that helps you reach more customers. Please leave us a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and get all of our show notes at rainmakerforcontractors.com/podcast.